Okay, we're going to continue our conversation about detox. And as a doctor of Chinese medicine, the main thing that I do with Chinese medicine when we're talking about detox is work with the liver and gallbladder system. Normally, I don't post videos like this as much because I work a lot more with movement, Qigong, and yoga. And this is because I find that when you're trying to make dietary changes in order to detox or lifestyle changes, this conscious movement aspect for me as a person really works well, because once you can feel your breath, feel your body, then it's easier to feel what does and doesn't feel good to your body. But if you haven't already established that awareness, then all this herbal stuff, diet stuff, sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't. All that being said, now we'll talk about some kind of liquids, beverages, herbal kind of side of detox that I like to do for myself and for patients. The first thing is, I mentioned in my first video on detox a couple days ago that you don't have to deprive yourself to detox. It's constantly happening anyway, because that's what our body does in order to survive. But if you are doing a more deprivative detox, and you're already experienced with doing that, it can be really nice to have these pleasure teas around, like peppermint. Peppermint is very cooling. It's not great for everyone. Certain forms of reflux, peppermint can be bothersome because it's too relaxing to the esophageal tract. But find like a nice decaffeinated herbal tea that you like with nothing weird added, and it can be really soothing. And liquids can also help keep the stomach full, which in a more deprivative detox, you will have hunger, because when you're not spiking the blood sugar as much, then the liver has a chance to regenerate itself. And so the herbs I'll be talking about have to do with the liver gallbladder system mostly, because that's one of your major detox organs. Also some with the kidneys. This is going to be really simple, but if you want more in-depth Chinese herbal medicine knowledge about purifying or recovering the function of liver gallbladder, you can, I'll put my email in the description, and you can email me. You can also go to my website and book a telemedicine call or a 15-minute free consult. And then I can talk to you more about more interesting herbal medicine that is used for specific conditions. Basic. Dandelion, roasted dandelion root, or just dandelion root. Also the leaf is good medicine. Very good for purifying the liver. It's good for breast tenderness, so it's good premenstrual as well, because the liver, if it's not detoxing properly, you might have certain menstrual disorders. And dandelion also is really helpful for the skin. It's not meant to be taken long term, so I take it, basically what I do is I get this 32-ounce cup, and I put a couple of tea bags of this in and steep it for 15 minutes and then take them out. And I drink that throughout the course of the day, and you can probably reuse the tea bags once. There's a more hardcore version where you boil the root itself, but this is more realistic for people with a modern lifestyle. So dandelion, it will make you pee more, so be cautious drinking it close to bed, or if you have any electrolyte imbalance issues. Next, inside of this one, which I just, that one's traditional medicinals, this one's the yogi tea. I like certain ingredients in this one. It's called Skin Detox. Hibiscus in general is said to be anti-inflammatory. And it's interesting because mast cell, well, I don't want to get too technical, but certain forms of inflammation are a response to something in your environment, and then certain forms of inflammation are because you already have an immune deficiency within. So that's where it's important to work with a healthcare practitioner. But I do like hibiscus for its anti-inflammatory. It's also very good for the female reproductive system, very good for skin. And then in here we also have more of the dandelion root, something called Burdock root and yellow dock, which these are actually, I'm more familiar with them in the Western herbal medicine tradition, but they're also great blood purifiers, aka they help your liver detoxify your blood, because you have to remember everything that goes into your stomach passes through your liver, before it goes to the rest of your body. So whatever you're eating, also whatever you're breathing, and whatever you're feeling, those emotional stress hormones will also get filtered by the liver. So these herbs kind of are helpful for the liver function, and they also obviously tend to be good for skin. I have two more herbs to tell you about. One is Schizandra Berry, and it is also found conveniently in this traditional medicinals tea, with some other things. But if you can get Schizandra Berry alone, or ask your acupuncturist how to consume Schizandra Berry. Usually I just take a tablespoon of Schizandra and put hot water in it and let it steep, and then I drink it throughout the day. Schizandra is very protective of your liver. It is one of those things that you want to be careful if you're taking certain prescription medicines and taking Schizandra with it, because of how strongly it impacts liver function. We call Schizandra Berry the beauty herb in Chinese medicine, or one of them, because it is so protective of the liver, which is very helpful for the health of your skin and your hormones. And then the other thing, I don't have the exact version I want to show you right now, but you might have heard how powerful mushrooms can be for many different things. I would recommend reishi mushrooms specifically for the liver and for overall longevity and health. Chaga is really nice for immune support. There are lots of different companies where you can get medicinal mushrooms, but I just wanted to mention Schizandra Berry and reishi because I think those are also very important and helpful plant herb allies for detox. Then in Chinese medicine itself, there's this principle that we use for working with the liver gallbladder system, which is we look for certain signs and symptoms, such as if you happen to get red eyes easily, if you have a lot of belching or burping, if you sigh a lot, you might have tendon issues constantly, you might have trouble digesting fats, you might have skin conditions that can be a sign of a liver issue, menstrual issues like I already mentioned, high blood pressure sometimes can be a result of liver gallbladder system. Easily frustrated is a big one. Like if you're very irritable or you just easily get angered, this is when we would indicate to work with the liver gallbladder system. Also, funny enough, if you have a hard time making decisions, it is said in Chinese medicine that this could be related to your gallbladder energy or gallbladder function, which doesn't one-to-one correlate with Western medicine. The liver system is different than the liver in Western medicine. The gallbladder in Chinese medicine is not exactly like a one-to-one correlate in function with the Western gallbladder, but they do have overlap, such as the digestion of fats, and the production of bile is something that we work to support with herbs. So there are specific supplements, I'll talk about those in a second, but on the herbal side, bitter things like taking bitter herbs before meals, and also utilizing herbs that are going to turn on the activity of these organs. I'm being vague on purpose because it's going to really depend on what stage of quote-unquote detox you're in. Sometimes if the body is really weak, we need to nourish it before we can detox it. A couple other general principles about working with the liver health. The liver likes movement inside and outside the body. So if you're trying to heal the liver, then we use a lot of what's called qi moving herbs. Chai hu or Bluplureum, I can never say the Western name, is a common one used for gynecological issues and also mood issues. The liver itself, because it is an organ of kind of controlling and regulating the whole rest of the body because of the way that it filters the blood, it's really helpful to think of how you can move your energy. So you might think that caffeine is going to help you, and it will in a way. It will help move qi inside your body. But as a general principle, a lot of herbs that we use to help the liver will either, one, move the blood purposefully through the liver, or move circulation because that benefits the liver, or they will nourish the liver. We call them liver blood nourishing herbs. And I just want to introduce this concept to you right now because this is a very unique view of Chinese medicine to heal the liver. So side note, I think that these teas are a nice, safe place to start to explore. And then for more specific Chinese herbs, talk to a practitioner directly. And just think, for now, to keep it simple, some bitter foods can be helpful for getting that production of bile going. So we're gonna move on to the supplements. I always recommend magnesium to people in general because almost everyone is deficient, partly because our soils are deficient, partly because, and that therefore our food are deficient, and partly because we use up a lot of it from being stressed and never relaxing our body or our mind. Magnesium can help with that. There are many different types of magnesium, so I would work with a practitioner to choose. I'll probably eventually link a protocol below that you can just take a look at, and magnesium is one of them. It will help with stress, which as we detox, stress is always going to come up. It's like part of the process of releasing what we don't need. We might have to face some stress along that path, and anything that can help relax your body without taxing your liver is going to be helpful for that. So some other supplements that I really like that I don't have here right now are glutathione, because glutathione is a powerful antioxidant, and antioxidants, when taken in the proper ratio, also help detoxify your body. We'll leave it at that for now. The last kind of beverage thing I'll talk about is electrolytes. This is Element, LMNT, recommended by Andrew Huberman. Love his podcast. And I take one of these every single day pretty much. But if I'm doing a sauna, I might take 2. If I'm fasting for a day, I'll take 2. And they just come in these little packets. They have all kinds of different flavors, but there's no weird ingredients added, which I like. And yeah, you just pour the packet into your water. You can take it before or after sauna. You can watch the sauna video from yesterday if you want to know how I do sauna when I detox. But that is just a tiny little sliver of the beverage side of detox. Make sure in general that you're drinking plenty of water. You can think about adding some of these simple herbs. I didn't mention turmeric. Turmeric is also a Chinese herb. It's one I get asked a lot of questions about because it can help the gallbladder and pain in the body, but it's actually not for everybody. And it's in Chinese medicine, it's more for pain in the upper body, believe it or not. But it is a nice bitter food. It is important how you consume it. You have to combine it with certain things. Like you have to combine it with black pepper or oil, or I think those are the 2 things that make it more active. So long story short, it is nice to work with an herbalist if you are trying to heal a specific problem. But starting simple like this hopefully gives you a direction to move in so that you can have more energy, because the whole point of detox, 1 is to harmonize with the season like I talked about in the first video, but 2 is just to feel better, right? So let me know if you have any questions. You can comment your favorite things below the video. I'll be back later in the week to talk about more for the skin, some things you can put on top of your skin, or to massage into your skin to help with detox. And let me know if you have any requests for topics you'd like to hear about as well. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.